guys. This is Chris Look at Dane Galvi's Astoria Ford in Warrenton, Oregon, and we're about to check out the Ford F-150 Lightning Lariat. This is Ford's first electric truck, one of the most amazing EVs in the market today, and we're going to tell you all about it. And this is Dana's Galio vlog, but we are now starting an EV version. We're going to have e-ventures. So we're going to take electric vehicles out on trips and different things and do reviews and everything you want to know about EVs, we're going to tell you all about it. So let's get started.
All right. Your available range based on what your driving habits are. So if you like to drive a lot with none of the climate on, it'll probably show that you have a little bit more range available. The back two wheels, the same amount of torque, give you a little bit more traction. So where you find that is you've got your locking differential here. So now our differential is locked. Now we've got a couple of different drive modes here. We've got normal, sport, off-road, tow, and haul. Okay, and then one pedal drive as well. So one pedal drive is very similar, to a golf cart, or the way that when you let go of the throttle, the truck is going to slow down. Very cool.
And I just want to reiterate that locking differential.
Generator controls up here, so you can control the onboard generator up front, in the rear, or have both of them on. And what it'll do is it'll show you how much power you're drawing from the vehicle. Now you can set a reserve as well. So let's say we're out, at a tailgate party, we have everything plugged into the truck, but we want to make sure that we're going to be able to get home, right? So what we can do is we can set a reserve for the truck to leave a certain amount of power in the vehicle.
Very cool. This is the coolest part about EVs. We've got a unique storage compartment.
We've got storage up front, a little bit of a cooler in here with the drain plug, so you can put all your drinks underneath here and drain it out.
Can I sit in it?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is like that guy, if you want to. Tons of room in here.
And while you're in there, you can charge your phone, do whatever you need to do.
Oh, right on. So
you've got 2.4 kilowatts of available power up front. There's 4 120 volt, 20 amp plugs in the front area here. You've got your 12 volt access.
Yeah, got your battery in there. Your 12 volt. Most EVs is kind of an interesting transition because all the lights and the motors and different things as far as like windows, mirror, whatever, they're still running on 12 volts. So a lot of the accessories are 12 volts, but you still have a 12 volt battery to run those kind of things.
Right. You do get the charge pack here, so you've got 120 volt or a 240 charge option here.
All right.
Very cool. Absolutely. So we're going to take a look at the interior here.
We've got our full leather, which comes standard on the Lariat. We've got adaptive cruise control, lane keeping. That'll come with the Pilot Assist 2.0. This specific truck has a max tow package with the trailer option. So you've got a trailer brake controller. You want to show them inside here?
Absolutely. Look at the size of this screen, my goodness.
So this specific truck has a tow capacity with the max tow package of 10,000 pounds. And it does come with something called Pro Trailer Backup Assist, so that allows you to easily back up the trailer that you have so you can on and use this instead.
Wow.
So you can save all of your trailer individually in the truck. You have multiple trailers. You can save all the settings. Game.
Very nice. Right. And I notice here you have a range indicator instead of you have a power level, but then you actually have a very practical. It says like right now it's at 185 miles range. What would you say that maybe 75?
Right about 75%.
So that way you're not having to calculate your head or whatever. Right there in front of you, it gives you. I mean, it's not 100%, but it gives you a gauge, gives you an idea, so that you're not like, gosh, I got 50 or 100.
Right. And if you're ever curious as to where the power is going, like for example, on the last trip that we just took, 7% of the going towards climate control, 75% was going to driving, 7% accessories. So depending on what you're using, if you're using a little bit more of the climate during a drive, that average is about 10 to 20% of the battery being used by simply climate. Like if you have your heated seats cranked up all the way, or your heater, air conditioning.
And is that when you make these changes, or is there a way for you to say, okay, I'm going to try it now?
And of course, the classic tailgate step.
Wow, very nice. Oh, I love that. So you got a little handle to get up there.
Now, here's all of the available power in the back. There's 7.2 kilowatts of available power, 240 volt, 30 amp plug up here.
So you can plug in like a welder in that 240 rope right there.
Correct. Yeah, you can draw quite a bit of power from this back here.
Yeah.
So you've got 420 volt, 20 amps. So there's 2.4 available power down here.
Very nice. And again, like you said, you can set a reserve so that you're not going to run out.
Exactly. Yep. You've got all your LED lighting, box link cleats. This is the Ford factory spray and bed liner.
Nice.
Then you've got your tailgate mold here, so you've got a little bit. So you can clamp on your clamps if you're cutting wood or whatever it might be.
That is really nice. So you got some decent rubber on these. These are more of a, what would you say, style of tires? This sort of an all-season pattern? It looks like it probably, just kind of do the rain and stuff well. It's not an off-road tire. Most of the time you're on the road.
Right, they're just an extra road tire in general.
And have you heard any noises about a possible off-road package coming in the future, like maybe one that would have the ability to lift or anything like that? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. I have not specifically, but I'm expecting there probably will be.
Right. With all the control and like motors.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
there is definitely high demand. Next to it all folds up.
Oh, and you've got like a panoramic roof here, or what do you call this?
Oh, that's the full Vista roof.
Vista roof.
Yes.
Yeah, look at that. That is so cool. And it looks like it also has a cover, so it's not gonna.
Yeah, it does. So your cover will go here.
Wow. So if you're a chrome dome in the making like me, and you're worried about getting a little sunburn. Yeah. Oh, and I see you've got another 120 volt outlet right here. So maybe somebody's in the back seat, you're at a job site, they got to run their laptop or whatnot. That's very cool. And you got your cigarette lighter style 12 volt. And then what is this one here?
So those are USBs.
Ah, USB. Oh, yeah. So you've got like the USB-C and then the standard USB.
Yep. And you've got
so grandma can plug in her ancient technology in that one.
Grandma and the kids.
Yeah, or me. So I still have some of those. Very cool. The options are great. And boy, you've got vents right here for the passengers too.
Yeah, so you do have the flow-through console.
Now the passengers in this trim, do they also get heated seats?
They do, yes. Your passenger heated seats.
Oh wow, that is amazing. That is really, really cool. And so this seat's free in the back?
Yes, and then if you don't have anybody back here, you can actually pull this all the way up.
Oh wow, I'll get out of your way. Yeah, let's see.
This other side here. You can actually lock these seats down,
Okay. Oh wow, very cool. Very cool. Also, you got another storage cubby here.
Yeah.
And does this break down?
It sure does.
Oh my gosh. So you can make this flat. So like if you need to stack some in here that doesn't want to be in the weather in the bed, you've got plenty of room here. Very cool. Well, who better than Ford to make a truly useful truck cargo and all the truck things you like to do, especially here in the Northwest.
This gives you plenty of space down here.
Absolutely. I love this. And is that pretty much all the storage, or is there any other storage compartments? Or
other than the trunk underneath here, the bed, there's an extra glove box.
Oh yeah, let's check out the glove box. It has an actual glove box. One thing that's kind of disappointing with EVs in general, a lot of them they kind of delete the glove box or something.
Yes, there are 2 glove boxes.
Oh my goodness.
Got the top and the bottom here.
Nice. And you got another 120?
Another 120
20 amp?
12 volt.
Goodness.
There's the wireless phone charger.
And I've heard there's something about where you can make a flat surface here.
So you fold down your shifter. This is called the interior work surface.
Wow.
So you have a little bit of extra room here to do whatever you need to do. It also folds up here so you got your storage in the console area.
Uh-huh.
A couple of USBs inside of that as well.
So how much of this is Lariat and how much of this is base model? Do you get any of these goodies with the base model, the Pro?
So aside from obviously like the material of the seats, there's a lot of different ways to configure it. So you can get the work surface in the Pro.
Oh, okay. But is that an option or is that standard?
I'm pretty sure that that's a standalone option.
Okay, I see. So it's even with Lariat, that would be something you would have to add.
Yeah.
I got you. No, that's cool because not everybody needs
Yeah, if you look on the window sticker here.
Uh-huh.
So it'll show you, let's see, so we've got, let's say bracket, liner tray. So you know what? It looks like the work surface is actually going to come with one of these packages.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe with the towing or whatever different packages you got on there.
It might just be standard in one of the equipment groups.
Okay, cool. Good to know. And so I see here.
Get back to you on exactly what.
Oh yeah, for sure. No problem. So I'm seeing here it's got a 70 MPPT. Tell me about that. How does that work?
So this is basically just a combined city highway rating here. This is going to show us what our total range is.
320 miles.
Yes.
So this is an extended range. What's the base? Is it 250?
No, it's a little more than that.
Is it? Oh, good. So now I'm just curious because the different EV makers do it different ways. Some of them more conservative, and some more are more shall we say optimistic, like Tesla. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh, it'll go this many miles and leave it white," but in most cases it might not quite get there. What would you say? Are these more conservative, or are these more like
this is accurate?
Is accurate? Okay.
Fairly accurate, depending on your driving habits.
Well, of course, there's always caveat with that.
Yeah.
If you're driving like a racetrack,
right? So I guess with that being said, I guess it's good.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. So, as far as annual fuel costs, this is like assuming average driving,
Yeah, that's just comparing it to like a new gas vehicle. Your average fuel cost in a gas vehicle is maybe $4,000 or $5,000 on average.
Right. So you're saving potentially $3,000 to $5,000 or $4,000 a year just by going electric.
Just in fuel.
Now, what do you guys offer? I noticed you had a charger cable in there before that has a 110 and 240, like a different plug-ins.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's standard with the truck?
It is. Yeah, that comes standard. Now, when you order a extended range Lariat or higher, you get the Pro Power, the Pro power hookup for the house.
So that's included with the Lariat. So now, does that include installation?
No, it does not.
Okay, but you get the equipment that you could have a charging station level 2.
They ship it to you, and you get that to fix the truck. Now there is the generator that runs your house.
Yes.
Pull power back into your house. That looks like this. So this is a home automation system. So it's a home integrated network. Okay. So what this home integrated network is going to do, your home integration system, is going to look similar to this. Now, what these are, you're going to have a bidirectional inverter, multi-grid device, and your dark start battery. So that's going to allow you to use the truck to power your house. Okay.
And by bi-directional, you mean you can bring power from your house to your truck, or your truck to your house to have a power.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure I understand.
And then the same thing for that too. Let's say you're pulling power into the house, you're running your house, but you want to make sure your truck can get to the charger, so you can set the reserve on the truck to limit the power to a certain amount.
Now, is that a 7.2 kilowatt home charger? Do you know about? I know it's a level 2, but everybody's a little different on those. Some of them are a little more. Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, this specific.
No worries.
You cut that part out.
Well, okay. You've been great. I really appreciate it, Chris. I would love to just take a drive now with this. So that's very cool. Okay.
Close to something.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pick the corner that you're at.
Wow.
If you want to really get close to something, make sure you're not hitting anything. You've got a bunch of different camera options here. So if we want to just see behind us, a little bit wider view. We've got a high mount view. So if we want to see into the bed of the truck, you've got a hitch view. So you can hook up your trailer.
So you could be seeing that while you're backing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And we've got this is our Pro Trailer Backup Assist view. So this is what it's.
All right, well, let's get this thing on the road then. Wow, that is so smooth, man. It's just effortless. And I can see exactly where I am in the spots here as I come off this concrete pad. I feel like I'm captaining a spaceship or something, but it's an F-150 Lightning, so it doesn't look like something out of this world. And all the buttons and everything is kind of what I would expect on a typical vehicle. And you'll have to forgive me, I don't drive trucks often. I had an F-150 when I was a young man. My first vehicle was actually a 1967, and then this been a while since I've driven a full-size truck, so I'll do my best here to not do anything crazy. But man, I can't get over the fact that I just feel I'm floating on a cloud. Tell me more about the suspension.
So they are independent suspension, and that's at least for the F-150s. It's the first one that has an independent rear suspension, as far as I know.
Very cool. Now we can go ahead and get out on the road here a little bit?
Go ahead and go right, and then make a right at the stoplight up there.
Okay.
So right now we're in normal drive mode, so we'll go ahead and test out a couple of different ones.
Sure.
Feel the difference.
And again, this just, I don't really have to know anything. It's just a truck. It's just a vehicle. I just get in and drive it like I would most anything else. I assume it has a cruise here. Where's the cruise control?
So cruise is by your left thumb there. Right there, perfect.
Okay. And then how do they
set?
I see. There we go. Look at that.
Okay, perfect. So now we can use either adaptive cruise. This truck also has speed sign recognition as well.
Oh, cool. Cool.
We also have Blue Cruise as well. Currently, right now, we're not on a road that we're able to use that, but if you are on a road that offers Blue Cruise, you're going to really enjoy using Blue Cruise. It's all hands-free.
Very cool. So, as far as have to monitor, does it have any way to sense like a shifting load or anything like that?
You do have trailer sway control. So if your trailer is starting to shift a little bit, the truck will help take control of the vehicle, and it'll tell you. Well, so the smart hitch will help you, with your trailer. It'll tell you where to move the load in the trailer.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. So
smart hitch, there's the scale in the bed as well, so you can see how much payload you have in the truck.
Amazing.
There's all kinds of stuff on here.
So how much of this is new for the Lightning? Are some of these features things that you've had in F-150 trucks before, as far as
most of them are actually.
So they've had
things that we've had before.
The scales before?
Yeah, there were scales.
Really? Oh, okay.
F-150s, yeah.
Because I have to be honest, I haven't driven trucks in a while. The last time I owned one, I had a Silverado when I was in the Air Force in the early 2000s. It was a great truck, but it was just kind of, I had a motorcycle, so I needed a truck to be able to haul it at times. But yeah, this is just incredible. I drove this same stretch of road earlier in my car, and I could feel the bumps, and now I'm just like kind of floating.
It feels smooth.
It's amazing. I mean, you would not believe you're in a truck. You would think you're in like an old Cadillac or something.
Right.
From the
I don't know if you
60s.
notice how quiet it is in here, but the road noise is next to nothing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Good point. And you know, it's one thing to read about something, it's another thing to experience it. And wow, this is quite the experience. And I really appreciate
Oh, anytime. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, if any of you guys out there watching need any help, feel free to come see us. Again, my name's Chris Look at Dane Gouge's Astoria Ford. Come see me if you need anything. I'm happy to help anytime. We have a demo here if you're interested in coming and driving one.
Now, how does this compare to your standard F-150 as far as width? Like, is this going to fit in the same footprint? Am I going to be able to put like a camper or something from my gas model on this truck?
Yeah, you should be. I mean, size-wise, I believe it's pretty close to the same. Now, they are a little bit heavier than a normal F-150 is, but as far as the size and dimensions, I believe they're going to be nearly identical, width and length-wise. So they come in one cab configuration, a crew cab short box, with one wheelbase. So that's the same configuration that the regular F-150s have had in the past as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I am ecstatic, and I have to admit, I wish that I had the opportunity to pre-order one of these so I'd be driving it instead of my current.
Yeah, whenever you have the chance, get your reservation in there, and we'll keep an eye on it and get it converted over to an order for you.
Great. Now, what would be the wait time currently if someone wanted to buy this trim level? Typically,
that's a great question. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay. I mean, I noticed you had one that just sold. Now, was that one that was pre-ordered and it just happened to come in?
So the first one that I've received, I delivered yesterday. We ordered that, I want to say, as soon as the order, like the day the reservations were able to be placed. So it probably took a good amount of time to get here.
Gotcha. So they probably were waiting better part of a year, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, that's the way it is right now. If you're ordering an EV, there's so much demand.
Right.
I don't think there's anything that you can order that wouldn't be a similar lead time. But boy, I mean, I know Rivian beat you to the punch, but I think you guys beat them with a truck, because
I believe we did
they have a truck shaped vehicle, but it's not a Ford F-150 for sure.
Right. Yeah, we've got, I mean, the best selling truck. We took all the components from that, made it electric, and not to mention we also have a service sector. You know, when you're going to need service on your vehicle, you have somebody to come to. I'm not sure if Rivian can necessarily
town and neck of the woods and service the vehicle for sure. And that's one of the major growing pains of some of the EVs, like even Tesla. That's probably their biggest struggle.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't, you know, they're mechanical machines. They break down eventually. Everything does, and you got to have someone that's going to take care. And they just can't. They can't match it. You're everywhere. Now I'm curious with the Blue Cruise and or rather than Blue Cruise, forgive me, I meant to say the lane keeping. How does it monitor? Like, for example, I've noticed like some of the EVs, they either have a camera in there that watches you to see if you're paying attention, or they have a haptic sensor in the steering wheel. How does Ford do that?
So there are sensors that are watching your eyes for the Blue Cruise, but not for the lane keeping. So the lane keeping is operated by the camera system up in the front of the rearview mirror here, facing out of the front of the windshield.
So if I'm driving along and is it going to worry about where my hand placement is at all? If I'm on the lane keep, does it have...
the lane keeping? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so it's not really going to be like yelling at me in some form or fashion to say, keep your eyes on the road or keep your hands on the wheel?
Not specifically the lane keeping portion.
Okay.
Now, there might be other features of the vehicle that you might be using. If you take your hands off the wheel for too long, it will tell you to put your hands back on the steering wheel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just curious how they do it, because
Right. Yeah. It'll definitely tell you to put your hands back on the wheel for sure. And there are other things, safety features. If you keep hitting the rumble strips on the side of the highway, it'll tell you to pull over and have a cup of coffee.
Oh yeah. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I've been in a vehicle when I was way more tired than I probably should have been.
Yeah.
So wow, this is very, very amazing.
I'm glad you like it.
I haven't been in a newer truck for a long time, but I've got friends with trucks, and I've driven some relatively new ones, but this does not feel the same. This is like an amazing floating carpet in the but it's also a truck.
Yeah.
This of course is Dana's Oligario vlog, and we are now, this is our new EV segment we are adding to the vlog called E-Ventures, EV adventures basically, and we're going to give you more content in future. This is our debut, and what a way to debut. The most, as far as I'm concerned, the number one truck in the world right now, certainly the number one electric truck. Nobody comes close. The base model, correct me if I'm wrong, but the base model Pro is $39,900.
Correct. Yeah, it's about 40 grand starting price.
And nobody can touch that with. And how big is the battery in the base model? I understand it's a rather large, 110 kilowatts, something like that.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that's accurate.
Yeah, and what a bargain just for that. And what kind of warranty does Ford offer for the battery and drivetrain on the Pro and on up?
The warranty, the battery is covered for 8 years, 100,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the components, we've got a 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper, and a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty as well. And that also comes with a 5-year, 60,000 mile roadside assistance. So if you need anything, battery, like let's say you die, they'll come and either tow you to the nearest charge station or Ford dealership. They may charge your vehicle for you. If you are in a ditch, they will pull you out of the ditch. Anything on a county or state maintained road.
Now I've noticed something really interesting here. I made a slight error, and I have the cruise control set a little higher than I had planned, but I'm noticing it's keeping a perfect follow distance to this car in front of me. Even though I was set for a much higher speed, it was keeping a nice following distance. I didn't even realize I had set it high.
Yeah, so if we're set at 60 and they're going 54, then we'll match their speed based on what gap that we have set.
And now, is there how much? So, like, if they were to panic stop or whatever, and maybe get going again, and maybe they're only going 30, I'm going to go 30.
Yes, so that's called stop and go. So this vehicle will stop and go again. Now, if they come to a stop and we stay stopped for a little bit longer, then it deactivates the adaptive cruise control, and you have to resume driving like you normally would. However, if they slam on their brakes and they come to a quick stop, we'll do the same.
Amazing. And as far as Blue Cruise, what is the roadmap for getting more roads? I'm assuming that obviously they want as many roads as possible. What does that look like? Are they going like with major cities? And
I believe so. So it seems like the majority of the roads they're required to be 2-lane, like separate lane roads, from what I've seen, and I'm pretty sure it's just going to grow from there as the network gets larger.
Very cool. And well, obviously trucks are used in a lot of rural areas and stuff, so I'm sure that they're going to consider that. You are right. Ford, trucks, and this is truck country, so what a better match could there be for that? And I'm just curious too, if I'm, say, obviously you can't exceed your weight limit when you're towing. That's a big no-no. But if I'm towing, doing all the things that it's designed for, how does that affect my warranty, or how do you guys look at that?
No, so the truck is meant to tow. Your towing capacity on this vehicle with the max tow package is 10,000 pounds. So the truck is meant to do that. It's meant to tow, so that's not going to affect your warranty. The only thing that would affect your warranty is if you're just straight up misusing the vehicle,
Sure. So like if I tried to pull 20,000 pounds, whatever, I don't even know I don't know enough about towing to even give an example of something that heavy.
Just blatant misuse, and that's another story. That's something completely different.
Sure. Just like anything, if you abuse it, you're not going to cover it.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to. Well, this has been quite an amazing thing to I mean, you know, I'll be honest, you know, some EVs like the Tesla, they're great, but I got in one and it wasn't for me. And, you know, and it wasn't until I got to experience it, and I used to build and sell electric bicycles, and I never met a person that didn't love it after they rode it. But there were a lot of people it was hard to get them to try. I am convinced that the minute people get in an EV, especially something like this is amazing, they're just going to be floored. They're going to just fall in love, because all the things that, you know, whether it's fears or the, you know, the FUD, you know, the fear, uncertainty, doubt that people put out there to try to detract EVs, or, you know, people are just, when things are new sometimes, you know, they forget. In 1909, we had a Baker Electric, you know, Jay Leno's garage. He has one of these things. It still runs. There was an elderly woman that drove one
for a long time.
Yes, it was like he listed an example. This woman drove that old car from 1939 all the way up to the early 2000s, and you know, there's nothing wrong with electric. It's just different choices, you know, and the technology, you know, we've got it. It's here. It works. I agree. You know, so I really appreciate this test drive and your time and getting this experience, because I know that this will help with that EV revolution. And you know, and for me personally, it's not about, you know, an environmental concern necessarily. It's saving my wallet. Right.